the conversation about Trump and whether we're going to wipe Iran off the map, because the tensions haven't gone away. There certainly are plenty of tensions between the U.S. and Iran. Over the weekend, I think he said something like, if Iran wants a fight, that'll be the official end of Iran. It is cause for conversation here in Los Angeles because a lot of Persians here in L.A., and they are not particularly popular either for whatever the reason. I have Persians, the whole history of Iran is all about Persia. It goes back 8,000 or 9,000 years, and they really built themselves an interesting society. And but when the Shah was deposed, thanks to Jimmy Carter back in '78, I think it was, a lot of Persians just bailed out because after the revolution, they did a purge. They killed lots of supporters of the Shah, so a lot of those people came to the United States and were given asylum, and they've grown in now. They're in second generation, third generation, and there's something about, there's an arrogance about them. I guess that's it. I don't know how else to describe it.
That's actually not we have a lot of Persian friends.
Not your experience?
Yeah, not my experience.
Not
maybe it's an
either,
LA thing.
Frankly. Yeah,
I don't know.
An LA thing. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah,
because the New Jersey Persians that we're friends with are just the loveliest people.
Yeah, I have had good friends most of them are in the medical profession one way or another. The ones that I know, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, at any rate.
Medical and tech. Lots of tech.
Yeah, a lot of technology. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. All right, so what do you have, Victoria, that's trending that has caught your eye?
Well, Morehouse College is trending, and for a really sweet reason. They had their graduation over the weekend. And
I saw this. The guy... I don't think he was ever.
Yeah, right. It's fine. It's fine. So, but Robert F. Smith, who is a billionaire investor, he was the commencement speaker, and so at the end of his little commencement speech, he told all of the graduating seniors that he is going to pay off their student loans, and this, of course, was an unbelievable act of generosity.
Yeah.
And the total amount is tens of millions of dollars, and the school confirmed that it will cover 396 graduating seniors who have student debt. And the Morehouse president is David Thomas. He said that Robert Smith's gift will enable the graduates to have more capital to do things like start businesses, support their families, and of course, we've talked about this on the show numerous times. The rising student loan debt is cited as one of the many factors contributing to income inequality in America. So this was a wonderful extra gift that all of these kids got at Morehouse College.
The thing that's pretty funny about this, real fast, the business school at University of Maryland is the Robert H. Smith Business School, and he was a philanthropist. His family was worth more than $500 million, and people were all like, man, we got the wrong Robert Smith at our school. So it's very nice of this guy, but I don't know, maybe more philanthropists will start taking after him.
Well, one of the things that comes out of this is a discussion of if you can succeed in this country if you're black, and the movement that is there's a lot of back and forth here, and it's hard to draw a straight line because there have been many more opportunities for many young blacks, middle-aged blacks, and it isn't really, I find it, in my world anyway, not to be the world of color barrier. There are plenty of industries and businesses where there is a color barrier, I think. So when I listen to conversations sometimes, I was listening actually to a guy on the plane coming out here on Saturday, and he was talking about his business to his partner, and it was, I'm sitting fairly close to people. They're two across seating, and it's, pretty easy to listen to conversations. So I'm watching something, but I'm not really watching something. I'm listening to them talk about what's happened in our country, and whether there should be. There was one of the fellows was a black person, the other one was a white person. Trials and tribulations of black people trying to get through school. And what my conclusion was, not only just by listening to that, but in general, is it depends on where you come from. It really does. What city, what your neighborhood's like, what your parents are like, what your friends are like. And, you laugh at me sometimes because I say it depends on your astrological, where your stars are, but it kind of does. There are some people who just have it and some people who don't. So to make a blanket, I guess my point here is to make a blanket statement that there isn't equal opportunity there. I don't agree with that. I think there's equal opportunity for those who want to take advantage of it or those who can take advantage of it. Are black people more likely to have that opportunity than whites? No, probably not, because we still have a lot of prejudice in this country, and not only in this country, but around the world. You see these sorts of things in Europe all the time. Remember, the skinheads started in Europe. They didn't start here. They've certainly they've flourished, if that's the right word here, much to all of our chagrin. But it's really very interesting to see how the pieces get put together. And this guy obviously made a fabulous. He doesn't have great roots, but he took advantage of opportunities that he had, and is obviously a very smart cookie. And I just liked his smile. I saw that, and I just thought to myself, what a great smile. This is not an introduction to a commercial for Power Swabs. I'm not, but I do think that you get a lot of credit. Anybody who does that gets a lot of credit. Speaking of that, Carrie, we haven't talked a whole lot about the 73 episodes, 8 seasons of Game of Thrones and what happened, whether it's finally it's over, and some people who have been fans are happy it's over because not only Amelia Clark getting killed, they didn't like that, but obviously we're going to have some spoilers. But the thing that I've looked at in the last couple of hours has been what you mentioned earlier on about that bottle of
The
water.
water bottles that made. I'm amazed that they didn't go back to the last episode after the whole coffee cup fiasco just to double check and make sure there wasn't anything there. But yeah, not only was there one water bottle, apparently there were actually 2 water bottles in the scene. I didn't notice them, but people who are obsessed with that kind of thing went and looked and took pictures. So
I'm seeing lots of pictures that people took off of their TV where you can see the water bottle by his foot, which was that Jon Snow's foot?
It was
Kit Harington, right? Was that?
Yeah, I think it was him, and then another character, Davos. I can't remember. Oh, it was 2 characters, Sam and Davos. It wasn't Kit Harington.
Okay.
So I don't know whether it's the actor's fault that they didn't put away their water bottles, or that I don't know how. I mean, there must be like 50 people on set filming behind the cameras and stuff. I don't know how they don't notice.
How do you not see that?
It's one of those things where it's silly. I mean, they had it in editing for like 2 years, but I mean, at this point, I just laugh. Who really cares?
Well, now I think it's going to become like a game for the fans to go back through all the seasons and try to find
there
all
are
the
8
stuff
seasons.
they missed.
I wouldn't be surprised if this happened in another one. But I personally, I thought the season was fine. There was only one episode I really didn't like, and I think it was a good way to wrap it up. And my one thing is I feel like now that the internet is around, I think it's cool that people can watch the show and then interact with everyone else who's watching it, and people can come up with all kinds of theories of what they think is going to happen. But I think it's led to this really weird situation where people come up with their own theories of what they want to see happen, and then they get really self-righteous about what they think should happen, and then they get really upset when it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a TV show. There's going to be one ending. So unless we force every show to start making 17 different endings, which, by the way, Game of Thrones kind of had to do anyway because stuff kept getting spoiled, so they would have to film multiple different things. We're never going to be happy with TV shows if we want it to go exactly the way we want it to. And there are people who read the books and thought this was going to happen and that was going to happen that never even came up in the show. So I don't know.
It is interesting, though, that for whatever reason, and I'm just going to say, and no offense, but the Game of Thrones, the people who read the books and go to the convention stuff, they're a bunch of nerds. So for whatever reason, they have taken such ownership of this show that I've never in my lifetime seen people get more upset and animated and worked up. 500,000 people signed a petition to have the season remade. That's that's crazy.
Get a life.
Get a life.
Yeah, my advice for everyone, including the HuffPost article that I saw that said that, oh my God, fans were outraged, is that everyone needs to take a chill pill. And the thing that annoys me is, so George R. R. Martin is the author of the books. And I kept seeing all of these people who talked about how the first 6 seasons of the show were amazing because they were, writing a show based on his novels. And then the last 2 seasons sucked because they didn't have a book to base it off of. And I was like, well, why are we blaming this all on the show? They signed up to make a series off of this guy's books that he was supposed to write. And then he's taken so long to write the books and he keeps adding more that they don't have any content to go off. I was like, is that not partly his fault? Like, he signed up. He signed up to make this show, and then he can't get his books done. So it's kind of his fault too. So
all these guys get a pretty good paycheck out of this, so they ought not to be complaining too much.
Yeah.
Well, none of the people on the show are complaining, but it's all all fans who are mad and think they can write a better version of it, just like the Star Wars fans. So if they can write a better version, go ahead and do it. Maybe you'll get hired by HBO next time.
Yeah, send the version to me. I'll introduce you to a television producer. Maybe you can get things going that way. Today is National Rescue Dog Day. According to the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, about 3.3 million dogs enter shelters every year. Rescue dogs often overcome a lot of obstacles, and dogs are the sweetest. They can just, it's amazing how you develop a friendship with your pet, especially dogs. I've really fallen in love with Daisy May. She's the sweetest little thing, and she wants to cuddle up with me on the couch at night, and she wants to come in the truck with me everywhere. She gets sad when she knows I'm leaving she looks at the suitcases. She's a really great example of how people and dogs mate and match and help each other. Especially in her case, where I rescued her from a puppy mill, and she wouldn't have lived very long under the circumstances where she was, and now she's got a whole different life. And you wonder what they think about that, because they do think. They really do.
We think about that all the time. Our little Bentley he was a stray dog in Puerto Rico, and we also we laugh about that sometimes. We're like, wow, your life's pretty good now, buddy. You've got you've got all the meals that you could possibly want. You're kind of fat now, and and he lives at the beach, and he loves running on the beach and playing, and it's amazing. That you can transform a life.
Well, the focus on rescue dogs is very important, I think. There's a lot of benefit that you can get. There are a lot of children. I was walking down. Brendan and Sophie and I were walking down. I think it was Beverly last night. I went out to dinner, and there was a woman with a dog sitting outside the restaurant, and the dog looked at us and barked a little bit and then wagged its tail. It was just sort of, and then stuck his nose under her arm. This was just being sort of protective of her. You see people all the time who have various physical or mental or emotional things, and that's where the real rescue dogs, we rescue dogs, but then there are rescue dogs, service dogs, that do a lot for emotional support and relieving anxiety with people. There are people who have PTSD that have been in the service that try to keep their dogs when they get out, a lot of mental illness problems. So the dogs are really very good. So it's a way for us to think about these fabulous animals on National Rescue Dog Day. Rescue a dog is one way of, I guess, interpreting what that's all about. It's also the dogs that help people become just better at adapting to life. God bless them all, as far as I'm concerned. Let me help you get the most from a weight loss product that's been around for almost 30 years. A family came up with a blend, if you will, of ingredients that are all natural, mostly made around collagen protein. It's Calitrin. This is something that I feel very strongly about because it's worked for me, worked for people that I know. It's not for, you got a lot of weight, okay, you'll lose, you maybe like to lose 30 pounds quickly, and then maybe if you need to lose another 10 or 15, you do it the Calitrin way because it's safe. I don't ever have a real problem with the weight, but I put 7 or 8 pounds on over the winter, and I don't like it. So between exercise and using this stuff, taking 4 capsules before you go to bed at night, it really helps to stimulate the body, to produce more collagen on its own. It helps you just, because it's not made with the caffeine, so you don't get the jitters. You won't be awake at night. You won't have an upset stomach. If you'd like to get better sleep and also lose weight in the process, may I send you to toploss.com. That's their website, toploss.com. Use the code DJV, and for every one bottle of Calitrin that you buy, you'll get another one free. So you buy 1, you buy 10, doesn't make any difference. That's the deal between now and Memorial Day at toploss.com. A great time to get in on the fabulous, this just a fabulous product. It really is, and it works. Go to toploss.com. DJV is the code. Buy one, get one free.
Dad, what are you doing?
Cramming for college.
I'm the one going to college.
Yeah, but we need to figure out how we're going to pay for it all.
Discover Student Loans.
Discover does student loans?
Yeah, they're one of the top private student loan lenders in the country. It takes 15 minutes or less to apply, and there are no fees for the life of the loan. Best of all, I can earn cash rewards if I get good grades.
Really?
Yeah, we still have time to apply and get a great rate.
So I can just chill. College kids still say that, right?
No one says that, Dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Warning, if you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-959-5759. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-959-5759. That's 1-800-959-5759. 1-800-959-5759.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. September 2018. Extendivite works in keeping my blood pressure in the normal range. I've been using Extendivite for many years now. May 2018. Great product. I use regularly and I rarely get sick. March 2018. This product has relieved what appeared to be angina pain in my chest and shortness of breath after climbing stairs. I'm quite happy about it. February 2018. My husband, son, and I have been using this product for a few months now, and we have noticed an improvement in our joints and blood pressure. Tell us your story. Get Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Are you afraid to go to the mailbox because of letter after letter from the IRS? Are they stacking on more and more penalties and interest? By now, you know the problem won't go away on its own. Don't let the IRS chase you to your grave with penalties and interest and liens and levies. You need real help now. I'm Dan Pilla. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I help thousands of people solve tax problems they thought couldn't be solved. I can help you too. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com. danpilla.com.
Baby,
53 after the hour on the DJV program. Well, let's see. Cher is going to star remake of Batman. She's going to play the Catwoman, right, Chucker?
No.
Oh, no? Really?
No, her birthday's today. She's 73.
Happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday. And she's one of the I'm not going to say rare because there's been other ones, but there's been hit and misses in terms of people who have been great singers transitioning to acting. She's one of the ones I think's done an equal job, just as good a singer as, or just as good as an actress as a singer. Movies like Moonstruck and a movie called The Mask, which is my favorite. Last appeared in Mamma Mia 2, which she was actually a lot of fun in that movie.
She was, yeah. She had a lot of fun. I think I saw her on one of the late night shows. She told a story about how she got the role. Her agent called and said, "You're going to do this." And that was it. But the agent was connected to somehow to the production of the movie, and that's how it all got put together. Any more backdraft?
On the flip side, and I've said this on the show many a time, I was never a big fan of Madonna in movies. Talented singing, great music videos, but movies like Dick Tracy just she ruined it. Let's put it that way. Yeah. But that's a story for another day.
She was panned for the Eurovision performance she gave over the weekend in Israel as well.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently it was very
Hate to hear that.
Yeah. So what
were you talking about? The Batman?
We've had a lot of conversation here from lots of different angles about Robert Pattinson and how a lot of people think he's just a horrible choice to play.
Well, there's a lot of backlash on the internet and social media, which is nothing new, though, for any sort of casting. I think a lot of people just can't see him in anything other than the Twilight franchise, but that's over a decade ago. There was one bit of news being reported that reportedly in the script of this new movie titled The Batman, the two main villains could be the Penguin and Catwoman, which would make it very like what they did in 1992, Batman Returns, when they used Danny DeVito as the Penguin, who I thought was awesome, and Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, who also thought was excellent. So we'll see how this one plays out. There is no petition that's going to change this casting. You start to get that, like HBO's Game of Thrones. You got like 1 million people petitioning to refilm the last season. I don't watch the show, but the buzz on last night, again, a lot of backlash. People did not like that final episode. Not everybody, but enough to create somewhat of a stir.
That Amelia Clark got killed, and also that there was a bottle of water in one of the scenes.
Really?
Yeah, right.
So those who DVR'd and going to watch in about an hour, I guess they don't have to watch anymore. Huh? I'm just kidding.
Right, that's true. So you see where Arnold Schwarzenegger got assaulted at some kind of event. He was at in South Africa?
That was absolutely horrible.
Yeah. You got to wonder what kind
he
of
said, but the one thing about Arnold, actually, whether you agree with him or not, the cool thing he said he's not going to prosecute the guy. Hopefully, it's a learning lesson and he straightens himself out. But Arnold's still big as an oak. Didn't really budge. But with that security, I mean, that could have been a lot worse. The guy obviously got to him in a pretty aggressive manner. Thank God he didn't have any ill intention with any sort of weapon. But it was not pretty to see.
All right, so what do we have for box office totals for the weekend?
John Wick 3 performed very well, $57 million in its opening weekend. That is by far the best opening weekend of this franchise. Little doubt Keanu Reeves will do a fourth and a fifth entry because this franchise is growing. Avengers Endgame, $29 million, $770 million here in the U.S. alone. That is a very powerful number. Pokemon Detective Pikachu, $24.8 million, $94 million in 2 weeks. The Dog's Journey, $8 million in its opening frame, and The Hustle with Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson round out the top five, $6 million. A So-So, $23 million in 2 weeks of release. The big guns coming out in the next few weeks, Doug, will have the live-action Disney remake of Aladdin with Will Smith. That comes out next Friday, and the Friday after, which is after Memorial Day, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and Rocket Man, the Elton John biopic, which got a standing ovation at the Cannes Film Festival the other night. Some of the critics were lukewarm, but have no doubt with 20 Elton John songs, this movie is going to be very, very popular, I believe, at the box office.
I think it looks like a story that was almost begging to be told. He's a very interesting, very influential character. He's certainly had an influence musically on people all over the world. And, those things make for great box office if you can get a good actor to play him. And apparently they have. The two of them have bonded, it would seem. And they've sung together and released a song together. And so this is going to be, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm also looking forward to seeing it.
I am too, very much.
Yeah, the only movie of the list you just went through that I can pass is Godzilla. What a boatload of garbage. Good God. All right, Chucker, good job. Thanks. 59 after the hour.
Anytime, any place, anywhere. Radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in the car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Searching for a safe way to get rest you deserve, improve and lift your mood, relief for aches and pains? The answer, Hemp FX, Uplift, Relax, Soothe. You are invited to a workshop free on Saturday, May 18th, 10:30 to 1:30 at Westin San Francisco Airport, 1 Old Bayshore Highway, Millbury, California. Contact Donna at 650-861-0606. That's 650-861-0606 or Donna Garland at
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
I'm Stephanie Shelton, CNBC. Futures are sliding on trade war fears. The Dow expected to open down triple digits. In a recorded interview on Fox last night, President Trump said any agreement with China can't be, quote, a 50-50 deal. The president saying he's fine with his tariffs and the way things are now. CNBC reporting the Commerce Department is thinking of relaxing some bans on Huawei products for U.S. companies. But Google has already lowered the boom on Huawei, cutting its smartphones off from all Android updates, including security updates, also ending sales of hardware and key technical services. This could cause Huawei huge problems internationally, where nearly half its phone shipments go. Tesla shares are falling in pre-market trading after an analyst said its profit goal is a, quote, Kilimanjaro-like climb. Again, expect the market to open lower. I'm Stephanie Shelton, CNBC.
Discount travel sites say they have the best prices, but Hilton.com has the price match guarantee. Look me in the eye. If you find a better rate, they match it and take 25% off. Yeah, well, this is radio, so just stare at the radio. Hilton.com has the best prices. Pinky swear. Or, radio swear. Plus, you can choose your exact room and get free Wi-Fi. Cross my heart, stick a needle in my radio. Expect better. Expect Hilton.
Must be a Hilton Honors member. Applicable terms and conditions at Hilton.com. Pinky swear.
This is John Greenhut, and if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, Power Swabs is the answer. In 5 minutes, you'll see 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. Even better, there's no messy strips or trays that you'll have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes, and you're done. To try Power Swabs, call 1-800-679-0969. Your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free. 1-800-679-0969. That's 1-800-679-0969.
Looking for a new place to eat? Delicious food at a great value? The Tri-City Center in Redlands is proud to announce the grand opening of a fine new dining establishment. Terry's Diner, at the former location of the Spunky Steer in Redlands, is officially open for business daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. with delicious, mouth-watering breakfast, lunches, and dinners. Treat yourself to Terry's tasty dessert menu, such as Terry's famous sundaes, banana splits, hot fudge cake, old-fashioned root beer floats, frosties, cakes and pies, too. You'll find weekly lunch and dinner specials, all under $10, including Angus steaks, burgers, Greek salads, pasta seafoods with wine and beer. Terry's brings years of tasty temptations from DJs in San Bernardino and Altaloma. Join a new tradition in Redlands. Stop by at 1350 Industrial Park Avenue between Tennessee and Alabama in the Tri-City Center. Google Terry's Diner Redlands on Yelp or find them terrysdinerredlands.com.
How you doing? This is Gary Garver. In today's society, the majority of people are not getting enough sleep. I know I'm not. If you're like me and having problems getting a good night's rest, whether it's health or stress related, I have a solution for you. South Pacific Sleep Lab. South Pacific Sleep Lab will do an evaluation of your sleep pattern and will provide a comprehensive study so you can start getting a restful, peaceful night of sleep. They take all types of insurance, which will cover your cost of the evaluation, and they will even provide transportation to their offices at no cost to you. For more information, contact Tony at 310-999-1887. That's 310-999-1887. Tony even stays awake all night, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so you can sleep better and rest easy. South Pacific Sleep Lab. Start feeling better and getting a great night of sleep today.
For several years, KCAA has been marketing the Youngevity brand of nutritional and personal care products. Our experience with Youngevity has been 100% positive, so we are pleased to recommend them to you. Regarding nutritional supplements, we recommend Pollen Burst in the berry flavor and Tangy Tangerine 2.0 in the tablet form. For regularity issues, we recommend 3-Day Cleanse, and for personal care, we recommend Morning Hydration Cream. You can shop online for Youngevity at www.kcaateam.com, or you can order by phone by calling 800-982-3197 and tell customer support that you are part of the KCAA team. Youngevity is an American company based in San Diego. Call Youngevity at 800-982-3197 and ask about monthly auto ship that allows you to buy Youngevity products at wholesale prices. That number again, 800-982-3197.
Now, here's a new concept: digital network advertising, where businesses display your ad inside their building. If a picture's worth 1,000 words, your company is going to thrive with digital network advertising. Choose your marketing sites or jump on the DNA system and advertise with all participants. Your business ad or logo is rotated multiple times an hour inside local businesses where people will discover your company. Digital network advertising. DNA, a novel way to be seen and remembered. Digital network advertising with networks in Redlands and Yucaipa. Call in the 909 area 222-9293 for introductory pricing. That's 909-222-9293 for digital network advertising. One last time, digital network advertising. 909-222-9293.
Good morning. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. So glad to have you with us on this Monday morning, and it is going to be 80 degrees today. Yes, spring is here, folks.
Ooh, spring.
Yeah. It's like, okay, so I got to, and it's the time of year where you don't know, which of your wardrobe to wear.
Yeah.
So
you wear layers. And then you either add or remove layers depending on just how hot or cold it actually ends up being.
Exactly. Like,
different times.
Do I grab a sweater? Do I not grab a sweater?
If you work indoors too, right? I mean, so it's 80 outside, but your air might be blasted inside. So now you're doing that hot-cold thing, right?
Well, and that's the worst. Okay, to me, what the worst is when it's really cold outside, and you don't really see this here in California, but you do in other parts of the country where it's really cold, and they have the or the heater cranked up to 80 in your in office buildings, and of course you dress for it being like 10 degrees outside, and then you can do nothing but sweat. It's awful.
Yeah,
it's awful. And it's true. You walk into department stores and you walk into, office buildings, and it's just miserable.
Yeah. So I've got my layers on. I got my lightweight jacket on, Erin. My lightweight jacket.
So this is our way of telling you how to dress for today.
Yes. I'm just happy it's spring, though. The weekend was gorgeous. We had gorgeous weather. And if I didn't have this slight little head cold, I would have been out running. I got to get back out there, Erin.
Okay.
I've got to. And I'm feeling good. I mean, my body feels great after the marathon now. I've recovered completely.
It's been a week.
But I've got a head cold. Ugh.
It feels like it's been like 3 weeks, but it's only been 1 week.
Been 1 week.
1 week. So, and you spent yesterday with the girls and watching them play basketball.
Yeah, they had a tournament down in Murrieta. Murrieta Valley High School is gorgeous. I have to say that. I love their sports facilities, and the girls were in a tournament down there, and their team did really well. It's fun watching them play. Fun watching them play. They're really good players.
Except the coach told them they need to run.
Yeah, well, one of our girls was a little low energy this week, and he's like, "You got to get in better shape." I don't know that she's in bad shape. I think she just maybe didn't sleep well, or sometimes you have that off day. But she wasn't hustling, I think, the way that he wanted to see her hustle.
Well, and if she wants to be scouted, she's going to have to hustle every time she plays.
Exactly. This is what I tell these young ladies.
So. Which is it's tough.
Yeah.
So there's a way to make the roads safer.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Which roads?
Well, which roads? All the roads.
All the roads.
So
okay.
There's an op-ed that says if you want to make people drive more safely, make everybody drive a standard transmission car.
Really?
Yeah.
Why does that make it more safe?
So this according to the New York Times, they make the case for low-tech solution to the problem of distracted driving. So if you're using a stick shift, you can't use your phone, right?
Yeah.
You can't have your phone texting in your right hand if you have to shift. And so drivers have to pay attention to actual driving when operating that manual transmission. A car with a stick shift and a clutch pedal require the use of all four limbs, making it difficult to use a cell phone or eat while driving. Lapses in attention are therefore rare, especially in city driving where a driver might shift gears 100 times during a trip to the grocery store.
the author of this was Vatsal Thacker. He's a clinical assistant professor of psychiatry at NYU, and he writes that our vehicles are getting more and more high tech in the name of safety. Think backup cameras and radar sensors. But the irony is those same features make humans less vigilant in accidents involving self-driving cars that have surfaced. It seems that humans in the vehicles as a safety backup did little to stop the crashes, perhaps lulled into a false security. And it's so easy to get distracted, especially if we're, as I'm snapping here, this is our life right now. It's just everything is, we have the attention span of a fruit fly.
Yeah.
And so I actually think this is a good idea.
It probably is, but I kind of doubt that it'll happen because it's moving backwards, right? I mean, the more likelihood is that all the cars are becoming self-driving and that we'll become less attentive because we won't need to be because the cars are doing it all for us. But there's obviously threats and concerns with that. I mean, technology has issues, right? I mean, I've had computers pretty much my whole life, and computers crash, right? Computers get buggy. They make mistakes.
They get viruses. They get hacked.
I've never seen a perfect computer. Just hasn't happened yet. And so do you really want a computer controlling your car when you're going at 70 miles an hour on a freeway? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have to say, I actually really love to drive.
Yeah.
And so, you and I've talked about this. I was thinking about my next car. I'm thinking about a standard transmission because I actually really enjoy driving. Now, I haven't driven a standard transmission in a number of years, but I'm certain I could, it's like riding a bicycle, right?
Yeah.
I'm certain I could do it again.
The last time I drove one, this is going to sound weird, but Reagan wanted to go look at a car, and she was looking at these little Mini Coopers.
Oh, they're so cute.
And this guy over in Riverside had one for sale, and we got over there, and Reagan wanted to test drive, but guess what?
It had a stick.
She can't drive it. So she's like, Dad, you drive it and tell me what you think. And the guy's like, yeah, sure, if you want to. So I got in and drove it, and I was a little rough on the stick in the beginning because it's odd. I mean, when you haven't driven one in a while, And the other thing about every stick shift is each one's got a slightly different release point.
Yes.
And finding that point and getting
just gotta
comfortable
feel
with where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, it was a little difficult in the very beginning, but after I drove around for a few minutes, it was fine.
It also means that your car's less likely to be stolen.
Yeah, right.
Because of that reason, the kids don't know how to drive them.
It's the best anti-theft device out there. I don't know that there's a lot of places making them anymore, though. I mean, that's the other thing. They're hard to find.
Are they?
I think so. I mean, because I don't think it's something that's in demand. I think it's now viewed as a niche kind of thing.
So only hipsters drive stick shifts?
Yes. Aaron's a hipster.
Oh, God, no, I'm not.
Wannabe.
No. I don't want to, because as we talked about last week, hipsters kind of all look alike.
Ooh.
I'm totally not interested in that.
Yeah.
Although, I've never been one for fashion. I just put on what's comfortable and then go.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I want to look like a schlumpy slob all the time, but, I put on what's comfortable and the style that I like is pretty classic. It's not very trendy.
Yeah.
And so, that's kind of me.
Yeah.
And I do this uniform dressing, meaning I have clothes that I know fit my body, that I feel comfortable in, and so I tend to buy clothes that are just like that over and over again. So I look very similar each day.
I have sort of situational tastes, like if it's just me by myself making clothing decisions, it's jeans and a t-shirt all day long, every day,
Yeah.
But if it's a certain situation, like I know it's fancy, I've gone and talked to professionals, and I have nice suits, and I make sure I look professional in those situations. But I'm not pulling that out unless I need it,
Yeah.
And then I have what I would call casual deck wear, like if you're gonna go like someplace where you have to be sort of in between,
Yes.
not super dressy.
It's called business casual.
Yeah, but I that's my weak spot in my wardrobe. That's where I really don't like to be in that area because I get uncomfortable.
Do you really?
I always feel like I'm not quite dressy enough, or maybe I'm a little too dressy. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, a lot of teachers are pretty casual at work.
They are.
But most of the time, I mean, I think jeans and polos are pretty much your uniform at work, aren't they?
They are, but I try to start the year more with the suiting, keep it a little more business up front, And then as the year goes on, then I become more comfortable with the jeans and the polo shirts and, whatever.
So with that, let's take a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are On the Brink, the morning show on KCAA. We'll be right back.
It's time to say see you later, alligator, to embarrassing and troublesome issues with your skin, nails, and hair with all-natural Cayman alligator oil. Cayman oil is locally made, right in Louisiana, where people have been using alligator oil for centuries to treat all kinds of ailments. A drop a day of Cayman oil can help you say, see you later, alligator, to athlete's foot, nail fungus, acne, eczema, rashes, dry skin, cuts, infections, MRSA, scars, burns, sunburns, and even ingrown hair and dandruff. If you or someone you know is tired of suffering with any of these skin, nail, and hair troubles, you need to visit mycayman.com to learn more about 100% natural, non-toxic, hypoallergenic Cayman oil and get a bottle today. Say see you later, alligator, with Cayman alligator oil at mycayman.com. That's mycayman.com. mycayman.com.
It's that time of year again. The city of Yucaipa is holding its 8th annual Music and Arts Festival May 3rd through the 5th. This 3-day event is one of the biggest annual events Yucaipa has to offer. Live bands, art displays, and vendors filling up the streets of historic uptown Yucaipa. Also, as an added bonus, is the brand new Yucaipa Performing Arts Center. This is your chance to check out what the great city of Yucaipa has to offer. More info can be found at yucaipachamber.org. That's yucaipachamber.org. Yucaipa's Music and Arts Festival, May 3rd through the 5th at historic Uptown Yucaipa.
Don't miss the Plains of Fame Air Show May 4th and 5th at Chino Airport. Fun for the whole family. Enjoy watching aviation history take to the skies over Chino. See famous planes and demonstration teams like the F-16 Piper demo and Heritage Flight, Sanders Sea Fury, the Tumbling Bear, and Eric Tucker. Over 50 historic aircraft will be performing for your enjoyment, including the P-47 Thunderbolts and P-51 Mustangs. There'll be military vehicles, a veteran panel, kids zone, and a vendor marketplace where you'll find plenty of food and beverages. Gates open Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. Parking is free. Tickets, $25. Kids 11 and under are free. Spend the day at the Plains of Fame Air Show Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th in Chino. For tickets and info, go to plainsoffame.org. That's plainsoffame.org. plainsoffame.org.
This is KCAA.
Deine Augen machen bling bling und alles ist vergessen. Deine Augen machen bling bling und alles ist vergessen. Deine Augen machen bling bling und alles ist vergessen. Deine Augen machen bling bling und alles ist vergessen. Deine Augen machen bling bling und alles ist vergessen. Deine Augen machen bling bling und alles ist vergessen. Deine Augen machen bling bling und alles ist vergessen. Deine Augen machen bling bling und alles ist vergessen.
Ich lieg im Dreck, wieg 10 Tonnen, dreh mich im Kreis, jeder Weg führt wieder hierher, mal meine Wand an.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are On the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. So the airlines have had an outage, a major IT outage, and it hit at least 5 airlines.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they hacked?
So let me get there. Flights at U.S. airports across the country are delayed because of an IT failure affecting at least 5 airlines. This is according to the FAA. Southwest Airlines, Delta, United, JetBlue, and Alaska are affected, and delays are expected. And this is breaking news. Some of those airlines told passengers on Twitter that an IT failure was to blame. Departure boards at Orlando and Tampa in Florida show delays for Southwest Airlines flights. And Southwest said on Twitter that they have been told the technical issue delaying their flights has now been resolved. Alaska Airlines said on Twitter that they are working on a solution. Departure boards in Dallas-Fort Worth Airport shows delays for Alaska passengers. And so this is a developing story. There's a tweet from United Airlines. It appears that we are experiencing an outage that is impacting our ability to create release paperwork. We know this is frustrating, and we'll get back to you. This is in response to a tweet. We'll get back to you. We'll get you in the air as quickly as possible.
Wow.
So, and Delta's tweet was, "I completely apologize. We're currently experiencing a system-wide outage. We're working diligently to get it back up and running. We do not have specific times as yet."
So I'm sure this is a true story, but I'm finding myself maybe wondering, because today is
April Fool's.
April Fool's
Now,
Day.
but this is serious. Hits them in the pocketbook because they had to find these passengers. They were replaning these passengers with other carriers.
That's true.
And that cost them money. So
That's-
there's no way that they would do that.
That's true. Yeah. Although I will tell you, I just saw something that was kind of an April Fool's thing.
What?
It's really like what I would call a wishful thinking kind of April Fool's thing. It's from Robert Reich. You might remember him as the Secretary of the Treasury under Bill Clinton.
Yes, and he's a professor at like Berkeley or something.
Yes,
Stanford maybe.
and he is solidly in the Democratic camp.
Yes.
And not a fan of President Trump. And so he's written this beautiful thing today where Trump is announcing that he's stepping down from the presidency and admitting to all of his faults, and it's funny because it's so not true and so not Trump that Trump would ever apologize for anything. But it just got me thinking about April Fool's Day, and
I actually am not a fan.
yeah, I'm not either.
I don't like people pranking each other, especially since some of it is just really mean-spirited.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right? I don't mind like the silly little whatever pranks, but it often escalates to the mean-spiritedness.
Right.
You know?
I think of The West Wing, where they love to play practical jokes on each other, and there's little hazing, like, putting olives in your coat pocket, or,
Yes.
sawing the legs off of your desk.
Yes. or gluing the phone receiver to the base, and so you go to pick it up and it won't. Yeah. That's funny and a little juvenile, but not.
And it was fiction, guys. That was on a television show.
Yeah. We've had pranks at Frisbee Middle School on April Fool's Day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So, like you walk in and your desk everything's been wrapped in wrapping paper, like every item on your desk. It's never happened.
That's funny.
It's never happened to me, but other teachers have done this to each other. There's a couple of them that like to prank each other pretty regularly. People's cars have been wrapped in saran wrap.
That takes some time.
That does take some time. One of the PE teachers has this like safari type hat that he wears when he's out in PE, and his hat was taken one year, and throughout the day there was photos and messages being delivered about where his hat was.
Like what you did to Reagan for her gummy bears?
Yes, exactly.
So for those of you who are relatively new to listening to the show, we have a daughter who is now married, but when she was living with us still, she liked to get these Layman's Candy chocolate-covered gummy bears. They were her favorite. She got them all the time. And she went to the Layman's Candy, and she bought some, and then she went out with some friends, and Tobin found them.
And I took them prisoner.
You did, and he was sending her pictures and posting things on Facebook about her gummy bears being held for ransom, and they were getting all eaten. Anyway, it was very funny.
And delicious.
Dad!
Funny and delicious. So I always just wonder about, April Fool's Day and what people are going to do, and
I mean, if it's just fun little pranks, like that's just fun. But some of the pranks are mean-spirited. And I don't like that. I don't like things that are. I don't like people being humiliated, and some pranks do that, and I don't think that's right.
Have you ever been pranked?
Oh, I'm sure I have. I just don't remember.
You don't remember nothing big or bad that would be like traumatizing to you.
No, no. But you like the show Punk'd.
Yeah.
They would. Some of the times I thought, I couldn't watch it because it was painful to watch. Some of the things that they did, and I can't think of anything that's off the top of my head on that. But I had a hard time watching that show because I thought it was mean-spirited.
Yeah.
Everybody's laughing, and you sit there looking like an idiot, and they think it's great, and I don't like that. And even if the person who's on the receiving end of the prank is good-spirited about it, it's or good-natured about it, then it's still, I don't know, I don't like it.
So don't prank my wife, people. Didn't like that.
So I don't know a lot of women who do, to be honest with you.
No, it's kind of a guy thing, isn't it?
It's kind of a guy thing.
You
can haze each other.
There was one teacher that I used to work with. He's not at Frisbee anymore, but on April Fool's Day, he would walk around the quad and he would walk towards kids, and he would point at the ground in front of them or right behind them, and he would say, "You dropped your pocket." And the kids, they would hear dropped, and they'd see him pointing, and so they'd immediately start looking around before it registered, pocket? I dropped my pocket? What?
Yeah.
And he'd giggle.
And good-natured is like drop bears.
Yeah.
Or snipe hunt.
Yes.
Or, unless you actually send somebody out for hours looking for snipes, that's just mean. But, a little ribbing is okay, like a jackalope. Go find a jackalope.
Yes, the jackalope.
Drop bears are Australian. And they don't exist either.
You've never been to Australia?
Tobin, they don't exist.
I've seen them.
No, you haven't.
In the forest.
You liar. The only bears that are dropping are the dead ones.
Oh.
So, yeah. So be kind in your have fun on April Fool's Day, but be kind. I'm just saying.
So here's a friend of mine who posted, so it's back to work tomorrow. He posted this yesterday. What a cruel April Fool's joke.
Well, you get that thing called a paycheck, and
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the studio clock. Well, there apparently was a power outage in this area yesterday.
Yep.
And the clock here in the studio is reading 10:27.
Oh, that was a long power outage then.
Yeah.
If the clock's off by that much.
Yeah, right? So, it must have been out for a while because it's actually 6:26.
What do you do when the power goes out? Do you do the radio by candlelight?
No. Are you mental? No, the station is off the air.
I know. I'm teasing you, Aaron.
Oh, I'm
teasing you.
I mean, there's backup, but there's, I don't know. They're not on the air. So let's do another story.
Okay.
So apparently, there were 2 deaths at the Grand Canyon last week. In following the deaths of 2 people in separate incidents at the Grand Canyon, and actually, a story is dated March 30th, so it was last week. Experts said that while such tragic cases are still incredibly rare, national parks have been dealing with a higher number of visitors with fewer resources. On Thursday, a visitor with a tour group at the Eagle Point Observation Area of Grand Canyon West fell over the edge while taking a selfie. And how many of these stories are, of people trying to get the great selfie shot?
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I'm saying? Buy a selfie stick and just hold it out there and you'll get everything. You don't need to hang over the edge, you freaking moron. While the details of both incidents remains unknown, experts said that officials are working to keep people safe by putting up railings, posting signs, and having staff inform the public of dangers. But the parks are also working to do so amid declining resources. Okay, let me stop you right there. At some point, people are responsible for their own actions. If you climb over a fence to get closer to the leopard and the leopard strikes your arm, it's on you. If you lean over the barrier hanging over a cliff, it's on you.
Yeah, I don't know that having more employees would have saved this guy's life.
No.
It doesn't make sense to me. That's the problem here, but okay.
And the thing, and why should more taxpayers be on the hook for it?
Yeah.
So there were more than 318 million recreational visits to national parks in 2018. While that was down 3.8% from the 330 million the year before, it was still the third highest year for visits behind 2016 and 2017. Francis, this spokesperson says for the national park, said there's been a fairly dramatic decline in the number of employees at parks. Some of the major national parks, such as Blue Ridge Parkway and the Great Smoky Mountains, lost 20 to 25% of their law enforcement ranger staff over the last 10 years. That decrease could lead to longer response times in the case of an emergency or force rangers to make judgment calls on which incidents to respond to first in a triage situation. So here's the problem. People are so used to everybody making sure that they're going to be safe that they no longer think about being safe themselves.
Yeah.
If you're going into you're going into any wilderness area, take water and food. Don't be stupid.
Yeah.
Things happen and you're like, oh, I'm only going to be out there for half an hour. Take water then. You don't maybe necessarily need to take food, although I recommend that you should at least take a granola bar, but certainly take water because you're going to be exerting yourself even if it's cold outside.
Yeah.
Learn to take a picture of the thing without you being in it.
So apparently there's a guy who's actually written a book about this phenomenon, Aaron. Michael Giglari wrote a book called Over the Edge, Death in the Grand Canyon. He wrote it with another guy named Thomas Myers, And they said in their book, in our culture today, there's a really strong tendency for people to recognize danger as an opportunity for some sort of social media post or photograph and not as actual danger. It's a cognitive disconnect between danger as an opportunity for self-expression or danger as actual danger, and that's more and more common.
Do you know what people don't realize is that a lot of these really incredible shots that you see on social media, they're taken with drones.
Yep.
So it's not you with your arms stretched out trying to get that great shot. It's a drone, or it's a long selfie stick that gets the right angle, the angle that you're looking for, without putting yourself in danger. Don't be stupid.
Yeah. But there are at least 20 known events of the people dying at the Grand Canyon while either posting or taking pictures.
That's insane.
It is insane.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be in the picture. Once upon a time, people took pictures, lots of them, of just the beauty of whatever it is you're looking at.
No, Aaron, no.
You don't have to put yourself in it.
But
it's actually more meaningful if you don't.
But I'm so beautiful. Don't you want to see me in my pictures?
And all my filters?
Ooh, I'm going to find a filter for that. A filter for the dying face.
Oh, my God, Tobin.
So you don't look quite so dead?
Don't do. Oh, God, that's terrible.
I know.
I'm just angry at these people for being so stupid.
It is. But you know what? Later on, we'll get to joke about them when we do our Darwin Awards segment. Because that's what these people are.
But you're going to die for a photograph?
I know. And the sad thing is, the families and the people who know them are so traumatized by these things.
Of course they are.
And they're like, they can't get their mind around it. And they're the ones, I think, who start looking for some other way to blame. Oh, there weren't enough employees at the Grand Canyon. It's their fault. They didn't there weren't enough signs up. There weren't enough. You know what I'm saying?
You need a sign to tell you there's a sheer cliff right over there?
The barrier wasn't high enough. Instead of looking at the individual who did this and saying, yeah, he's a dummy. He messed up.
No, we are all responsible for our own behavior, period.
Yeah.
And the Grand, it's not like it's a small hole in the ground. It's not like you could have missed it. So, and that's your whole point for being there. Respect nature, guys. I'm just saying. So with that, it's time for a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA. We will be right back.
It's time to say see you later, alligator, to embarrassing and troublesome issues with your skin, nails, and hair with all-natural Cayman alligator oil. Cayman oil is locally made, right in Louisiana, where people have been using alligator oil for centuries to treat all kinds of ailments. A drop a day of Cayman oil can help you say, see you later, alligator, to athlete's foot, nail fungus, acne, eczema, rashes, dry skin, cuts, infections, MRSA, scars, burns, sunburns, and even ingrown hair and dandruff. If you or someone you know is tired of suffering with any of these skin, nail, and hair troubles, you need to visit mycayman.com to learn more about 100% natural, non-toxic, hypoallergenic Cayman oil and get a bottle today. Say see you later, alligator, with Cayman alligator oil at mycayman.com. That's mycayman.com. mycayman.com.
It's that time of year again. The city of Yucaipa is holding its 8th annual Music and Arts Festival May 3rd through the 5th. This 3-day event is one of the biggest annual events Yucaipa has to offer. Live bands, art displays, and vendors filling up the streets of historic uptown Yucaipa. Also, as an added bonus, is the brand new Yucaipa Performing Arts Center. This is your chance to check out what the great city of Yucaipa has to offer. More info can be found at yucaipachamber.org. That's yucaipachamber.org. Yucaipa's Music and Arts Festival, May 3rd through the 5th at historic Uptown Yucaipa.
Don't miss the Plains of Fame Air Show May 4th and 5th at Chino Airport. Fun for the whole family. Enjoy watching aviation history take to the skies over Chino. See famous planes and demonstration teams like the F-16 Piper demo and Heritage Flight, Sanders Sea Fury, the Tumbling Bear, and Eric Tucker. Over 50 historic aircraft will be performing for your enjoyment, including the P-47 Thunderbolts and P-51 Mustangs. There'll be military vehicles, a veteran panel, kids zone, and a vendor marketplace where you'll find plenty of food and beverages. Gates open Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. Parking is free.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292 FQ Riverside, and K293 CF Moreno Valley.
California headline news. Grammy-nominated rapper Nipsey Hussle was shot and killed Sunday in South Los Angeles. Lieutenant Chris Ramirez with LAPD says the 33-year-old was one of 3 men shot outside Marathon Clothing, a store owned by Hussle.
3 victims were outside of that clothing store. They were in the parking lot right in front of it.
The others who were shot are listed in stable condition. Another horse has died at Santa Anita Park, the 23rd death since the day after Christmas.
Arms Runner, a 5-year-old who won his last race at the park on January 27th, suffered a severe injury to his right front leg and was euthanized on Sunday.
Reporter Ken Jeffrey says it was only the 3rd day of racing at Santa Anita since the track reopened, following an investigation into why horses have been dying there. And a section of Yerba Bueno Road in Malibu is closed due to a huge rock slide. It's expected to take a week to remove the debris. Another section of the road was already closed due to a massive sinkhole that developed in February. Steve Clausen, California News.
Another tip from First 5 California. Did you know that children who know more than one language demonstrate greater working memory, reasoning, and problem solving? If you speak more than one language, share it with your child. More at first5california.com.
I'm John Simmons, Manager of Agriculture for Tabasco Brand Pepper Sauce. My family's made Tabasco sauce for 150 years. What am I working for? I'm working to stay true to our family recipe.
At ADP, we're designing a better way to work so you can achieve what you're working for. HR, talent, time, benefits, and payroll. Informed by data and designed for people. Learn more at design.adp.com. ADP, always designing for people.
Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green, the iconic cleaning formula known around the globe. Try a Simple Green product today, and if you're not 100% satisfied, I'll refund your money. Visit us at simplegreen.com.
Simple Green.
California headline news. If you're flying today, you'll want to check with your airline before heading to the airport. At least 5 airlines experienced system-wide computer outages this morning, according to their Twitter accounts. American Airlines posted in a tweet the outage was due to a technical issue with a program called AeroData that was impacting multiple carriers. In another tweet, Southwest says the problem has now been resolved. So far, it does not appear there are major delays at any California airports as a result of the problem. Steve Clausen, California News.
It's time to take a look at our roadways. I'm Erin Brinker. In Riverside on the 215 southbound at Columbia Avenue, a crash is blocking the right lane. Stop-and-go traffic is backed up from Barton Road. The 215 north is slow overall from Van Buren up to MLK. The 60 west is busy between Pigeon Pass and the 215. In Fontana on the 10 westbound after Cherry, a wreck is now along the right shoulder. Slow traffic is backed up from Citrus. And in Hesperia on the 15 southbound between Ranchero Road and Kenwood, there's some slow traffic. This has been your traffic report. Drive carefully, everyone. I'm Erin Brinker, and this is KCAA.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jim Rinaldi. Well, this morning, a mainly clear sky, sunshine today with a high of 84. It'll be partly cloudy tonight, low 52. Sunshine Tuesday, bit of a breeze, not as warm, high 72. Could be a stray shower to start the day Wednesday, otherwise partly sunny, high 70. I'm meteorologist Jim Rinaldi, broadcasting live from the Tri-City Center at the 10 and 210 freeways. We are the trifecta of talk in Southern California, KCAA. 102.3 FM Riverside, 106.5 FM Redlands, and The Legacy, 1050 AM, Loma Linda, San Bernardino.
Broadcasting more local radio programs than any other station in California, we are KCAA.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. Dodger Stadium, Tobin.
Yeah, you know, You might remember the story from back in 2011 when the Giants fan got beaten up so badly, right?
Yes.
And ended up in a coma and had all kinds of brain damage. I think that guy's name was Brian Stowe. Well, we had another incident at the game yesterday, and this one, I don't even know where to begin. The incident occurred around 1 a.m., according to Los Angeles Police Department, near the end of the Dodgers' extra inning game against the Arizona Diamondbacks. The victim was a 45-year-old man identified by his family as Rafael Reyna. He's a fan of the LA Dodgers. The victim's wife, Cristel Reyna, told NBC News that she was on FaceTime with her husband when she heard another woman yell, "Why did you do that?" Reyna said she watched as a man then approached her husband and started cursing at him before she heard the sound of a crack and the screen went blank. "I'm panicked. I'm screaming at the phone and nobody's hearing me," she said. "Nobody's answering me, and I could hear my husband moaning." Cristel Reyna said the couple has 3 minor children, ages 11, 12, and 13, along with an adult son. He's in the hospital with serious conditions related to head trauma from striking his head on concrete. Now, there have been no arrests that were made. No suspect descriptions are available yet. On Saturday night, the LAPD said the incident was being labeled an assault and was no longer considered an altercation. 'Cause I think initially they thought maybe it was just two guys that had started fighting with each other, but now they're saying no. This appears that this was sort of one-sided. The robbery homicide division was taking over the investigation, according to LAPD, and then of course the Dodgers issued a statement in response to the incident. And here's the Dodgers statement. Last night, an altercation occurred suddenly between 2 men who were leaving the stadium. One of the men was injured as a result of the altercation. A witness immediately reported the incident to stadium personnel, and emergency medical technicians were promptly dispatched to provide medical assistance at the scene. The matter is now being investigated by the Los Angeles Police Department, and the Dodgers are cooperating fully with the investigation. Now, since the attack back in 2011 on Brian Stowe, they've upped their security outside of Dodger Stadium, but obviously, there's thousands and thousands of people there.
Right.
A lot of them have been, drinking, and this is, they had an after-action report when this happened in 2011, and they had made some changes to try to reduce the likelihood of something like this happening again. But drinking, this game went extra innings. Tempers may have been, people get, I hate to say it, people get so wrapped up in their team.
It's ridiculous.
Right?
It's ridiculous. Baseball games are supposed to be fun, people.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be fun.
Now, I'm wondering, because, they don't mention this, but, most people don't go to a game just by themselves. So I'm wondering if the Rafael Reyna, who was attacked, was there with a friend, and if his friends are going to be able to help them to identify the people. The wife says she saw the guy that approached on the FaceTime, so she might be able to help as well. But how scary.
How terrifying.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely terrifying. Yeah.
Another black eye for the Dodgers,
Well, when they had these during soccer games or football matches, as they would call them, in the UK, but they had people getting in fights, and there were hooligans, what they called them.
Yeah.
They stopped selling alcohol in their venues.
Yeah, they did, huh?
And is that what you want? This is why we can't have nice things. Do you understand that? Because people can't handle their stuff. Baseball games are supposed to be fun. That's people go out there to let the cares of the world, shake the cares of the world off, and just enjoy a good game and visit with their friends and have a hot dog and some beer. And it's not all that important for you to get in a fight with someone.
Yeah. And the Dodgers have had some amazing seasons the last 2 years, going to the World Series twice. They've got some great players on the team, a lot to be proud of. And then to have this happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's already time for another break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA. We'll be right back.
It's time to say see you later, alligator, to embarrassing and troublesome issues with your skin, nails, and hair with all-natural Cayman alligator oil. Cayman oil is locally made, right in Louisiana, where people have been using alligator oil for centuries to treat all kinds of ailments. A drop a day of Cayman oil can help you say, "See you later, alligator," to athlete's foot, nail fungus, acne, eczema, rashes, dry skin, cuts, infections, MRSA, scars, burns, sunburns, and even ingrown hair and dandruff. If you or someone you know is tired of suffering with any of these skin, nail, and hair troubles, you need to visit mycayman.com to learn more about 100% natural, non-toxic, hypoallergenic Cayman oil and get a bottle today. Say, "See you later, alligator," with Cayman alligator oil at mycayman.com. That's mycayman.com. mycayman.com.
The Tri-City Shopping Center in Redlands is serving up some really cool ice cream at La Micho Acana. Then get your chocolates and other delights from C's Candies. Moms and future moms who visit the mall can cool off and relax while they get treated like royalty at Shiny Nails or Francis Nails and then pampered at Texture Hair. The Tri-City Center is filled with retailers who care about you. Shop at the Tri-City Center in Redlands and see why they call it the Mall with a Heart.
Welcome to the Tom Hartman program. I'm live right here, Monday through Friday.
Are you ready for the #1 progressive talk show host in America?
71% of people say that the information they get from their friends and family, they take more seriously than the stuff they read in the media. Only 42% of Americans think the media is the most credible source of news. And therefore, if you're informed, if you're awake, you need to be telling your friends. You need to be talking to your friends and family.
24-time New York Times best-selling author and has nearly 6.5 million listeners nationwide.
These are crimes. These are international crimes against humanity. And I would love to see somebody held to account in this administration.
Introducing Tom Hartman on KCAA Radio, weekday afternoons starting at 2. Looking for a new place to eat delicious food at a great value? The Tri-City Center in Redlands is proud to announce the grand opening of a fine new dining establishment. Terry's Diner, at the former location of the Spunky Steer in Redlands, is officially open for business daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. with delicious, mouth-watering breakfast, lunches, and dinners. Treat yourself to Terry's tasty dessert menu, such as Terry's famous sundaes, banana splits, hot fudge cake, old-fashioned root beer floats, frosties, cakes, and pies, too. You'll find weekly lunch and dinner specials all under $10, including Angus steaks, burgers, Greek salads, pasta seafoods with wine and beer. Terry's brings years of tasty temptations from DJs in San Bernardino and Alta Loma. Join a new tradition in Redlands. Stop by at 1350 Industrial Park Avenue between Tennessee and Alabama in the Tri-City Center. Google Terry's Diner Redlands on Yelp or find them terrysdinerredlands.com.
So, you didn't like that opinion, okay? Give us another 15 minutes. This is the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. I want to remind everybody all the ways you can find us and follow us on social media. I am Erin Hunt Brinker on Facebook. That's Erin Hunt Brinker. There is an Erin Brinker, but she lives in Wisconsin, and she's not me. And then there's Tobin Brinker. He's Tobin Brinker on Facebook.
Yes.
And we also have, if you go to the KCAA Morning Show Facebook page, that is our Facebook page. We also have an On the Brink Facebook page because I made one and Tobin made one.
Yeah.
And that was smart, and we need to merge them. But we honestly, to be perfectly honest, we are more active on our personal Facebook pages. So that's the best place to find us.
And please go looking for us. Please do.
Yeah, please go looking for us and engage in the conversation. Now, if you're a belligerent jerk, then we're going to bump you. But you know, we're not going to keep you on our page. But if you engage in a meaningful conversations, man, we love that.
That's right. Just we're going to say no to trolls. Don't be a troll.
Don't be a troll. Don't be a troll. So on to another story. The Washington Post actually has a very interesting story about how fossils show worldwide catastrophe on the day the dinosaurs died.
Really?
And so they pretty much know that a meteor, whatever, hit off the coast of Mexico and created a massive crater. This happened 66 million years ago. A massive asteroid crashed into the shallow sea near Mexico. Now listen to this. The impact carved out a 90-mile wide crater and flung mountains of earth into space. Earthbound debris fell to the planet in droplets of molten rock and glass. Crazy,
Wow.
right? So ancient fish caught glass blobs in their gills as they swam, gape-mouthed beneath the strange rain. Large sloshing waves threw animals into dry land. Then more waves buried them in silt. Scientists working in North Dakota recently dug up fossils of these fish. They died within the first minutes or hours. Oh, hour sounds agonizing. After the asteroid hit, according to a paper published Friday in Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, a discovery that has sparked tremendous excitement among paleontologists because now they're finding, what actually happened.
Yeah.
So you're going back to the day the dinosaurs died, said Timothy Brawlower, Pennsylvania State University paleo-oceanographer who is studying the impact crater and was not involved with the work. That's what this is, the day the dinosaurs died. About 3 in 4 species perished in what's called the Cretaceous Paleogene extinction, also known as the KPG event or KT extinction. The killer asteroid most famously claimed the dinosaurs, but the T-Rex and the Triceratops were joined by hordes of other living things. Freshwater and marine creatures were victims, as were plants and microorganisms, including 93% of plankton.
A lone branch of the dinosaurs did live on, though, Aaron.
Birds. If you've ever... in Jurassic Park, I swear they watched chickens when they were making that movie.
Yeah, they did.
Because the behavior that the velociraptors had in Jurassic Park, in that first Jurassic Park movie, because that's the only one I've seen, is the behavior of chickens. They totally act like... They're nasty little cusses, too. Chickens are not nice.
Smart chickens, very scary.
They are. So 4 decades of research buttresses the asteroid extinction theory, widely embraced as the most plausible explanation for the disappearance of dinosaurs. In the late 1970s, Luis and Walter Alvarez, a father and son scientist duo at Berkeley, examined an unusual geologic layer between the Cretaceous and Paleogene periods. The boundary was full of the element iridium, which is rare in the Earth's crust, but not in asteroids. It's not rare in asteroids. Walter Alvarez is one of the authors of the new study. The Hell Creek fossils represent the first mass death assemblage of large organisms anyone has found.
Wow. Now, I'm thinking of all those wonderful children's movies that our kids watched growing up with the dinosaurs, and they always just showed it being very cold, and the dinosaurs were moving, to get away from the cold, from the Ice Age.
Are you thinking of Ice Age?
Yes.
Like where Sid and
yes.
And I've forgotten what the other characters were named. Just remember the name of Sid.
Yes, the sloth.
The sloth. He was great.
Yes.
John Leguizamo.
Yes.
The movies were just terrific.
Yes, and what was the one with the little baby dinosaur that we watched too with the kids so much?
Was Littlefoot was his name?
Littlefoot, yes.
Land Before Time, no.
Something like that. Anyway. But now we have to redo all those movies with a giant asteroid. And globs of glass.
The movie with the giant asteroid coming towards the world has been done over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yes.
Just not back then. It's Will Smith goes in and saves the day.
Yes. Thank you, Will Smith. Thank you.
So apparently they've been working on this for a very long time. Robert DePalma, who's a doctoral student at the University of Kansas, began excavating the site at North Dakota's Hells Creek Formation in 2013. Since then, he and other paleontologists have found heaps of fossilized sturgeon and paddlefish with glass spheres still in their gills. They found squid-like animals called ammonites, shark teeth, and remains of predatory aquatic lizards called mosasaurs. They found mosasaurs. They found dead animals, insects, trees, and a triceratops. They found foot-long fossil feathers, dinosaur tracks, and prehistoric mammal burrows. And they also found fossilized tree gunk called amber that had captured the glass spheres too.
Okay, so the amber is where we were able to get the DNA to create the island with all the dinosaurs in the movie.
And it worked out so well for them, didn't it?
I'm just saying, there's a little bit of truth in all of this stuff, Aaron. The amber. Look in the amber. This is actually fascinating, and it really required a massive effort of taking all this evidence, all these source information from around the globe, dating it. Right? They've got to figure out, to sort of correlate that it all happened sort of at the same time, and finding sort of similar patterns of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
tell the story.
It's like what happened in Pompeii, with after the Vesuvius erupted, and everybody was kind of stopped in place and they died there. That's kind of what happened around the globe because of this impact. 90-mile wide crater. So
yeah, and this site, this Hell's Creek site, is more than 2,000 miles away from where the crater is, Aaron.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, it's like, think about, I saw a story recently about Fukushima radiation being found as far away as the Bering Strait, and so, but I know that's just across the ocean, but still, it's this. Once you're up in the atmosphere, the stuff can spread quickly.
Well, and that's just the thing. They said that within 15 minutes, that would have the hail of glass beads would have begun to rain at Hell's Creek, which is again 2,000 miles away. 15 minutes is all it would have taken, and that hail of glass beads, they call them tektites. Tektites.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, so we have time for another story about this German quote-unquote heiress that is now she's now considered a fraudster. Her name is Anna Sorokin, and apparently she led a crazy rich life in the Big Apple. Anna Sorokin traveled in celebrity circles and tossed $100 tips. All the more reason to believe she was a German heiress worth roughly $60 million. She said she was. But behind the jet set lifestyle and pricey threads, she was a fraudster.
No.
Yes. Sorokin, who was 28, lived in a luxury New York City hotel room she couldn't afford, promised a friend all expenses paid trip to Morocco, then stuck her with the $62,000 bill and peddled bogus bank statements in a quest for a $22 million loan. This is according to the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. On Wednesday, the AP reported that the one-time darling of the Big Apple social scene is scheduled to stand trial on grand larceny and theft of services charges, alleging she swindled $275,000 in a 10-month odyssey that ended in a cell in Rikers Island.
She's living large now, Aaron.
Right?
She's on the island.
So she arrived in the world of champagne wishes and caviar dreams in 2016 with a new name, Anna Delvey, and a wardrobe to match, Celine sunglasses and Gucci sandals. She made a show of passing Chris Benjamins to Uber drivers and hotel concierges, but gave varying accounts for the source of her wealth, according to people who knew her. They said she claimed her father was a diplomat, an oil baron, or a solar panel muckety-muck. She's really a former trucker who runs he's really a former trucker who runs a heating and cooling business. Sorokin was arrested in October 2017 and has been jailed since. She faces deportation to Germany regardless of the outcome of the trial because she overstayed her visa. Her story, however, may stick around. Shonda Rhimes has announced she's creating a television series about Sorokin, whose Instagram bio says soon on Netflix.
I have a problem with that. I'm
well,
sorry.
As long as she doesn't get any money for it, I don't care.
Yeah. Shonda's going to get paid.
Shonda's going to get... Yeah, but I like Shonda's shows, so Shondaland can continue to grow.
Right? Oh, my goodness.
But, the thing about it is in a society that's so incredibly image conscious, this doesn't surprise me.
No.
Not at all.
It's easy to fake people out, too.
It really is.
Get your fake little Instagram going, get your likes and whatever, and before you know it, people are like, oh, my God, you're someone important.
You're someone important. Exactly, when you're really not.
Yeah.
So with that, we're at the end of our show for today. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are On the Brink, the morning show on KCAA. We'll see you tomorrow.
Deine Augen machen bling bling und alles ist vergessen. Deine Augen machen bling bling und alles ist vergessen. Deine Augen machen bling bling und alles ist vergessen. Deine Augen machen bling bling.